Hey guys, I got a new video. This one I'm going to discuss my two trophy trucks. I've had these for a couple of months now, and trying to get a good read on them and the whole trophy truck craze and the whole thing with the desert buggies. And I actually have a desert buggy right there. I have a losi tenacity DB, but I think he might be going away. I just ordered a vintage kyosho tomahawk, and that one looks more realistic to me, and I like the realistic stuff, hence the semi trucks and the heavy equipment. But back to the trophy trucks. Well, I just want to talk about them today and tell you what my feelings are on them. Well, first of all, we have two different companies here. The red and gray one is a kyosho Outlaw Rampage Pro, and of course the blue one is a Team Losi Baja Rey. Now, between the two, which one is my favorite? It depends on what I'm doing. I'm going to put it that way. Which one is the fastest? By far, it's the Baja Rey. The Baja Rey is quick. Even when I had the stock brushless system in it, the brushless system was fast. And along with the fact that it was fast, it had a lot of visual effect. And what I mean by that was, with the extra soft suspension and the droop and how much it actually moves and wiggles around, it looked a lot faster. The Outlaw Rampage is not slow by any means, but it doesn't come with any electronics, so you have to put your own stuff in. So that's more governed by what you put in it, other than how fast it actually is. Now, which one is the better handling for just driving around your neighborhood and bashing around? By far is going to be the Outlaw Rampage. This little guy is tough. Both of them are tough, but this one I have not had to fix anything yet. The only upgrade I did to it, and it's something I was just playing around with, I used some trailing arms from the Losi Baja Rey and put a couple of bolts in here for spacers and just to lengthen it, just to give it some little bit more durability. But other than that, there's nothing I've really done to it. Of course, I played around with the different shock oils, and I played around with the spur gear in it, and just general stuff. But other than that, I haven't really done anything. And of course, I put some more scale-looking bead lock rims on it. And it gave it the dual shocks like on the real truck with the piggyback reservoirs. I got these off of Asia Tees. I'm going to get the name horrible and messed up, but I think it was Boomerang Racing or Boorang Racing. Other than that, it uses the stock kyosho oil fill shocks, which are excellent. They're, to me, kyosho is probably as good as quality, if not better in some aspects, than Tamiya. Kyosho tends to be a little bit more on the precise side, and their stuff doesn't have the scalability of Tamiya as far as realistic looking and getting licenses and stuff. Because hence this is, I don't really know what kind of truck that is, but it's cool looking. To me, it looks like an old Ranger or old F-150, but I don't know. It's a cool looking truck. So, which one I think is actual really 1/10 scale? If I go by my 1/10 scale touring car, this is a vintage TAO2 with a Audi body on it. If I go by that, I'm going to say that the Outlaw Rampage is probably more scale. The Audi S80s in real life are not big cars, but they're not small cars. I mean, they're definitely not. Let me see if I can do this and keep it on camera. They're definitely not this small. Yeah, that's tiny. Now, the losi, they say it's 1/10 scale, and it probably is, because I've seen trophy trucks in real life at a couple of car shows, and they are huge. I mean, they are big, wide bricks. They're not small by any stretch of the terms, you know. So it could be, you know, I could be splitting hairs, and I could actually be right. But to me, the losi is probably more 1/8 scale than 1/10 scale. But, you know, whatever. Now, which one is the cooler truck? As far as which one's going to have, you know, more presence? Well, the losi by far. The losi is just a cool truck. I mean, look at this guy. It's a cool looking truck. I mean, it's got the actual droop like the real desert trucks, you know. It's got a roll cage frame on the inside that if you take all the body panels off, it's an actual roll cage in there. I mean, it's got lights. I mean, this one is added on along with the one in the front here. I added that on along with the, I don't know if you call these splitters, spoilers, mud flaps, whatever. This truck started out as a Ford. But the problem I have with the Ford, again, me being into scale-looking vehicles, is that the Ford, the proportions are all weird. This part here is too squat, and it's too narrow, and too flat. You know, it's still a cool-looking truck, but it's, you know, And I like the more old-school Toyota trophy truck-looking style of the original Baja Rey body. You know, I use the rear end from the Ford, so I kind of got a Ford Yoda, just for playing around purposes. The one I grab every afternoon to play with is probably the losi. You know, the losi is, again, it looks more fun playing around. It cannot jump. I'm going to tell you that right now. It does not jump. It does not like to jump. It likes the donkey kick. It flies like an albatross. Well, it lands like an albatross. So, it does not like that. And that's probably why, again, you can see the bent up body and scratches and all that. Because it likes to fly now. It'll get into the air very quickly and very easily. But it doesn't like to land. You're definitely going to roll it. So you got to be prepared for that. If you like pretty trucks and stuff that's going to look nice and neat and clean, like the Audi, minus the whatever that is there. But if you like stuff like that, well, you're not going to like the losi because it's going to get beat up. Now, the problems I've had with both of them. Well, the losi, it's a great truck. It's a tough truck. But like I was saying, the losi is a tough truck. I mean, it is an extremely tough truck. But it does break. And I've broken quite a few parts on this. And I've broken parts that if it was on the Outlaw Rampage, it wouldn't have broke. Give you an example. Now, I did kind of lie a little bit and said I didn't break anything on this truck. But, I wore out a bearing on the wheel, on the front wheel. Other than that, I think I stripped out the gearbox, but everybody that's owned one of these trucks says that the spur gear stinks, and it does. But that was easy, I just ran it until, I don't even consider it a break because I was going to change the spur gear anyway, but I just ran it until it stripped out. So, but other than that, the stuff that broke on the losi, this truck just took in strides. Like I've broken, let's see if I can flip this big beast over. That's one reason why you see all the aluminum parts on it, besides just, trying to make it look cool. I've blew out the shocks, both black back shocks. These that are in here now are Proline. What do they call the Proline shocks? But these are the Proline shocks. They're actually not for the losi. They're for the Arma. I don't remember. I think it's the Sultan or something like that. But these are the big bore shocks for the Armor truck. But they're perfect fit. I blew out the shocks, the little bleed screw on the losi shocks. Was driving down the road, hit a jump, landed. The truck started acting funny. I pulled the truck back over, and of course the whole entire suspension system on both sides was covered in oil. So taking the shocks out, realized that the bleed screw popped out. Same thing on the front. Blew out the front shocks about a week later. So again, put the Proline shocks in there. The other thing that broke, I'm using the RPM Ford Raptor bumper, even though I'm trying to find the RPM bumper for the original losi. I've seen it in one place, so I probably have to go back and get that. But I broke the bumper. How do you break a bumper? I don't know, but I snapped the bumper. And I didn't hit anything. I tell you the honest truth, I don't know what hit. I think it's the one of the times that it flipped over, it broke the bumper. But I don't know how you break a bumper, but whatever. I got that. The RPM is known for being tougher than stock, so I got the RPM bumper. The other thing that broke is the upper A-arm on this side and the lower A-arm on this side. And again, that's why I have the aluminum ones on, because the stock one, it broke. It bent the top one on that side, and this one, the little ball joint that sits right in there, see if I can get the camera to focus, the little ball joint that was in there, it pulled through the plastic and it was just flopping around. So that broke. And again, I didn't think I was doing anything crazy with it, but it decided it wanted to let go. Trying to think of what else that messed up. Oh, well, the other thing was the electronics. This does not have the stock electronics in it. This has the Easy Run, X Run Extreme. Let's see, which one is this? It's at the Easy Run Max Amp Short Course Truck system, which is really strong. So the motor looks tiny inside the chassis, but it's really strong. Pulls this truck around all day long on 2S and doesn't even complain, doesn't warm up or anything. The smart system, the Spectrum system that was in it, it burnt out. And again, not doing anything that I thought was going to be really rough. I was out on the beach and I'm zooming around back and forth, and the truck stopped moving. So I bring the truck back over and I smell smoke, and of course the speed controller's dead. I replaced the stock radio with a Futaba radio, just a better radio all around. Same with this truck. This truck didn't come with the equipment, so I'm using the tried and true Fly Sky. What is these things called? The FS GT 3B. That's a good little system. It's cheap. It feels almost as good as the Futaba in the hand. It has excellent range. Nice radio system for $40, and it does everything that this one does, and it's 3-channel just like this one, and this was $150. Other than that, would go back to the old story I always have. Would I buy another one? Oh heck yeah, these are cool trucks. I love the way they look. I have the S1 sound system in it, which just makes it even cooler because it sounds like a real truck. but I would definitely buy another one. Now that I know what I'm getting into, yes, really would get another one. As far as the Kyosho Rampage, that's another heck yeah, because this truck is more fun than you can realize. It's only rear-wheel drive, but that doesn't stop it at all. The only thing that I really don't like about the Rampage, and from as far as design goes, it's motor on axle. So it kind of feels like the old Grasshoppers or the Hornet and stuff. Just gives you that feeling because those old cars back in the day. That's how they were. The old Tyco Turbo Hoppers when I was a kid. It gives you that feeling in a way, but once you actually see it moving around, it's more like a crawler than it is than one of those kind of buggies. So anyway, that's my thoughts on these two trucks. Got any questions, leave them in the comment, and also hit the subscribe button. Thank you and see you again.